I haven't given my All NBA teams, and I understand that there's been some talk about if they're going to change the format and allow, change it to positionless teams. I kind of like that, and that's kind of what I'm going to do for this iteration of the NBA of my All NBA teams. So I wanted to give my All NBA team. I'm going to start with the third team, and like I said, I know that this isn't going to be the All NBA teams because I kind of cheated a little bit. I did the whole positionless thing. I know it's just in talks and it's probably not going to happen, but I did the whole positionless thing, and you're really going to see that mainly in the first team. But let me start with my third team, and I'll start with the backcourt. I have to go with Steph Curry and Damian Lillard. One of the biggest detriments to Damian Lillard, of course, was the fact of the lack of success that his team saw this year. Damian Lillard is still, the Trailblazers didn't make the playoffs, and he was injured a lot of it. They did shut him down and everything, but Damian Lillard still finished, I think, third or fourth. I know for sure top 5 in scoring, and he was the really only lifeline for the Trailblazers this year, which is one of the biggest. I mean, I know they had Shaedon Sharpe and Grant, but it was real. Dame had an incredible season. If it really wasn't for the terrible record or the bad record that the Portland Trailblazers had, he probably would get more light and more consideration to be on a higher team. But I have to put Dame on the third team. And Steph, the only reason why Steph Curry, in my opinion, is in the third team is because of how good the guard position has been this year. Like when you hear who's on my guards or who my guards are for the second and third team, you're going to understand like, oh yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Steph Curry is still the best point guard in the league. I still think Steph Curry is the best point guard in the league. I just think the All NBA team is a seasonal thing. It's not like we're not taking into consideration where they rank as far as amongst players, because I mean, spoiler alert, Kevin Durant, because of the injuries and as much time as he missed, he didn't make my All NBA teams, not one of them. But Kevin Durant is arguably, when healthy, one of the best players in the league. So I think the only reason why Steph Curry made the third team and not a higher team is because of just how deep the guard position has been. I mean, Jaylen Brown didn't make my All NBA teams, and he is one of the best guards. So I have, in the backcourt, I have Curry and Damian Lillard. Front court, and this is, of course, the All NBA third team, I have Jimmy Butler, LeBron James, and Lauri Markkanen. I talked about the inconsistency that the Miami Heat have had this entire year. The one consistent part, or the one consistent thing about Miami has been Jimmy Butler, and I mean, he's been. Even though you look at the record, even though you look at the scoring, he has been their most consistent scorer. He's been their most consistent defender, and he's one of the biggest reasons why Miami, of course, made it to the playoffs. So I had to put Jimmy Butler. Of course, we know about LeBron James. I mean, this year he became the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. He's still the biggest and main reason why a lot of people are picking the Lakers to make a deep run in the playoffs. He's LeBron James. Even though he's not the peak LeBron James form, he's still LeBron James. And the plus and minus that the Lakers have with him and without him on the court is crazy. Kind of like the same. It's almost close to the same plus minus that the Golden State Warriors have with Curry on and Curry off. And Lauri Markkanen, man. Lauri Markkanen, he shocked me and of course Utah. I'm sure Utah shocked people in Utah too because we thought that they were tanking. They probably should have been tanking, but Lauri Markkanen has been one of the best bigs in the league, and a lot of people probably don't know who he is, even though he was in an All-Star game. A lot of people, if the casual fans probably don't know who Lauri Markkanen as far as NBA fans, but Lauri Markkanen has been one of the best players in the league this entire year, and he has been the face of the Utah Jazz, and that's why I have him in my third team. So my third team is Curry, Damian Lillard, Jimmy Butler, LeBron James, Lauri Markkanen. Now we get to my second team, and let's start with the backcourt. I have to start with De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox, he finished he did win the first ever Clutch Player of the Year award. And he was the number one clutch player in the if we talk about percentage and everything, he was the number one clutch player in the league. And nobody, and I repeat, nobody expected the Kings to be this good. And a lot of that is because of the play of De'Aaron Fox. I mean, think about it. They have not been to and I say this almost every episode because of how shocking that it is. They have not been to the playoffs since 2006. And they're currently leading against the reigning champions in the series. It's crazy. And De'Aaron Fox has emerged as one of the best guards, at least this year, in the league. When we talk about offensively, while no, he's not the best defensively, his speed is still he has John Wall like John Wall speed before the injuries. That's how good De'Aaron Fox is. So I have De'Aaron Fox on my all-second team. Then I have Donovan Mitchell. Look, Donovan Mitchell, he has a 70-point game this year. Damian Lillard has a 71-point game as well. But Donovan Mitchell has a 70-point game. And when you want to talk kind of the same way we talked about Jalen Brunson, which he was a very tough person to leave off of my all spoiler alert, Jalen Brunson didn't make the All-NBA team, either one of mine, but he was good enough to make it. Donovan Mitchell, his infusion with this Cleveland Cavaliers team has been, I mean, you can see it throughout the entire, team of how good this team is and how they feed off his energy. I knew Donovan Mitchell was good. Don't get me wrong. Donovan Mitchell was really good in Utah. I didn't think he was this good. I didn't think he was good enough to lead a team to. The Cleveland Cavaliers are good enough to at least make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'll say that. And a lot of that is because of Donovan Mitchell. And I just, he's been great. So my backcourt is De'Aaron Fox and Donovan Mitchell. To start my front court, I have Luka Doncic. Now, I guess this is one of the first quote-unquote cheats. Luka Doncic, I understand, plays point guard mostly or plays the guard position, but he's still 6'8", and he still is a forward pretty much. And the only reason, look, I understand they didn't make the playoffs. I understand, how the season ended, but Luka Doncic, I mean, he was second in the league in scoring. I think he finished with like 32 or 33 points a game or something like that. Luka is one of the he's going to be a face of the league in the future, and he's one of the best scorers we've ever seen and one of the best foreign players we've ever seen, and he just demonstrated that this year. So I have Luka, and actually that one of the biggest reasons why I kind of had to penalize Luka and not put him on the first team is because of the fact that his team didn't make the playoffs. So even with Kyrie, now I know a lot of people are going to blame Kyrie, but this is yet another star that hasn't really, I'm not going to say star, but yet another good player that hasn't blossomed playing alongside Luka. So I have Julius Randle. I had to. What the Knicks have done this year has been short of remarkable, and I understand that Knicks fans try to kill Julius Randle every other day. I get it, trust me, but Julius Randle is still the best player for the Knicks. Even though people can argue that it's Jalen Brunson, I do think Jalen Brunson's the most important player. It kind of goes back, and I know I bring him up a lot, but it kind of goes back to Golden State. Steph Curry is by far the best player on Golden State. But I do think that when we talk about the success of Golden State, a lot of people can argue that Draymond Green is the most important player. For the Knicks, yes, Julius Randle is the best player. He has, I think, a most improved player of the year award. It's Julius Randle. But Jalen Brunson is probably the most important player. And Julius Randle has been great all year. I have Julius Randle as my second team. And I have Sabonis as my second team as well. Again, when we talk about centers, when we talk about big men, there hasn't been too many better than Sabonis this entire year. You can argue maybe Anthony Davis, but the inconsistency that the Lakers have seen, and Anthony Davis did miss a good portion of time. I don't know. But I had to go Sabonis. His availability, the fact of, he alongside with De'Aaron Fox have led the Kings to the playoffs and led the Kings to the best offense in the league and one of the best home court records in the league and one of the best road records in the league. I had to reward the Kings. So my second team is De'Aaron Fox, Donovan Mitchell, Luka Doncic, Julius Randle, and Sabonis. And my first team, that's where you see the cheating, I guess, because there's no way, because this happened last year and I didn't like it, and I know it's going to happen this year, but there's no way that you can have three MVP candidates and one or two of them not make the first team. Last year, Joel Embiid finished second in MVP, and finished second or finished on the All-NBA second team. To my opinion, the All-NBA team should be the best 5 players in the league, which is why I kind of like the fact that there is positionless basketball, or they're thinking about having positionless All-NBA team. While no, I don't think it's going to be all guards or all centers or whatever. There's no way that the person that finished second in MVP didn't make the first team. So this is where you kind of see me cheat. I'm going to start with my backcourt. My backcourt, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jason Tatum. I understand Jason Tatum's a forward, but again, Jason Tatum is, I think, finished 4th in MVP voting. There's no way and the Boston Celtics have one of the best or the second best record in the league. There's no way that you can leave Jason Tatum out of the first team, especially when he is the best player on the Celtics. The Celtics are favored to win the NBA Finals. The Celtics have been extremely consistent this entire year, and Jason Tatum has been there. In fact, Jason Tatum, I think, finished the year with the most 30-point games in Celtics history. There's no way I leave him off the front court or back court. And for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, while yes, the record they didn't have the best record, Oklahoma City, but nobody expected Oklahoma City not only to be as good as they are, but to even make the play-in. Nobody expected, not even Oklahoma City. And Shai Gilgeous has been their best player. And Shai Gilgeous, I mean, his offensive emergence has been a sight to see. He is fun to watch. And it's going to be scary when you see whoever they get in the draft, plus Chet Holmgren's going to come back. You have Shai Gilgeous. It's going to be big. It's going to be good. You have Jalen Williams. There is such a bright future for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and a lot of that is because of Shai Gilgeous, and he has been the most consistent guard this entire year as far as availability. He missed some time, but he has been the most consistent and probably the biggest surprise as far as the guards. So I have at the backcourt, I have Shai Gilgeous and Jason Tatum. In the front court, there should be no question who it is. The front court is Giannis, Joel Embiid, and Nikola Jokic. The top three MVP vote. I don't know who's gonna. I think it's gonna be Joel Embiid, but there's no. Again, it goes back to last year. There's no way that the top three. There's three people that are going to be getting votes for the MVP, and not one of them is not in the All NBA team. Joel Embiid, Giannis is a 2-time MVP, and Giannis had led the Bucks to the best record in the NBA. Nikola Jokic led the Denver Nuggets to the best record in the West. For a majority of the season, was leading in the MVP vote. Has 2 of them. Joel Embiid and that's another thing. Last year, Joel Embiid, this is the second year in a row he led the league in scoring. And there's no way I can leave him off the first team. Led the league in scoring from a center. I think this is the second time that's ever happened. I think the first time was with Wilt. So my first team is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, and Nikola Jokic. I know that's not how it's going to turn out, but that is my All-NBA team. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.